sorry. I know that I am late. I'm about an hour or so late, and I kept having trouble. I was trying to go live, and I kept getting this error message. And I'm thinking, I don't know, it's a big storm that's happening in my parts of the woods. So I don't know, with the thunder, which you guys might actually hear in my background, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can't go live because just, I don't know, interference is, the storm's too heavy. But, I was able to get through. But I think it had something to do with the wording on the title for this. So I don't know. I had used the word death because we are talking about death conspiracies. Or conspiracies around MJ's demise. So that's the topic for today. But anyway, hey everybody, for those of you guys who are not new to this, you all are true to this and you're back, I want to say hey. Thank you so much for being a subscriber, for supporting me. And hopefully, even if you're not watching me live right now, you guys will watch it in replay. And again, I always encourage for you all to leave your comments down below. I hope you guys can hear me okay. You hear that? That's thunder, you guys. It's really bad. So I hope I don't get hell. I'm covering death conspiracies and shit. I hope I don't get like struck by lightning and stuff trying to go live with you guys. But that shows just how dedicated I am. Yep, I said it. Just how dedicated I am to you guys. And I hope everyone had a good weekend. I hope you guys can see it okay. I hope my big head is not blocking my little setup there. And then also, I wonder, how does that look to you guys? No? Am I doing too much? Am I doing too much if I turn on my light? Maybe I should turn it off. It didn't turn off. Okay. I think I might be doing too much. But maybe I might put in like a colored bulb or something, like get like a pretty purple one, which is my favorite color, and put it on there. But anyway, for those of you all who are new to the channel, I would say I normally don't ramble like that, but actually I do. But I usually try to ramble less than what I'm doing right now. But I was just looking at this and I am on my mobile device. So like I say, I hope you guys can hear me okay through this mic. I recently watched back one of my videos and I could barely hear me. I had to turn up the volume pretty high. And I usually do not even watch myself back after hey Jay, what's up? Thank you for joining. Jay's in the house, y'all. Okay. No worries. Okay, good. No, you're not late. I'm actually late to my own party. And I'm so sorry, you guys. But like I say, it took me even longer to get on here because, shoot, I kept pushing to go live and it kept saying error message. So I'm like, man, maybe I just need to wait the storm out, which has been going on for a little bit, But I'm like, maybe I just need to get the storm out. And, I just saw lightning. Okay, if it gets too bad, hopefully I won't have to cut it. But yeah, the storm is pretty heavy, but I thought that I wasn't able to go live. All right, thank you for recommending me. And I hope you and your girlfriend are able to actually watch me. All right. Thank you so much. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate your support. Thank you. But yeah, we are going to hop into it. But I was just saying why I was late. And in the future, I know. Well, you know what? Actually, I like storms. Storms don't bother me. I actually like rain. And I'm one of those weirdos that will listen. I'm one of those weirdos that will have like the sound of rain and everything to help me sleep. Like I like that. Yeah, thank you so much, Jay. I actually like storms and like that doesn't bother me. I just don't like having like lights hooked up and like phones out and like all this stuff, and it's kind of heavy. I'm like that a little bit, but normally thunderstorms, lightning and stuff, that doesn't bother me. I find it relaxing a little bit, but just not when I'm all like plugged in and stuff. I got shit plugged onto my chest. What if I get electrocuted? And oh, that'd be horrible. Okay, but anyway, I'm sorry. This is not about me. This is about MJ. Okay, so it's kind of hard not to cover, and I kind of went back and forth with this. I almost did a trivia for you guys. I almost wound up doing like a little trivia thing, which I thought would be fun, but it's difficult to talk on the subject of Michael Jackson and his death without actually touching on, yeah, me too. Right? There's nothing wrong with that. That's not weird at all. I think it's very cool, Jay. Very cool. I love me some rainstorms, and sometimes I even like the sound of like, I'll put on there for snowstorms so you can hear like the little whistling, the howling. That helps me sleep too. So I can relate to MJ when he has a hard time sleeping. I can relate to that. Yes, indeed. Fact. And then also for you guys that don't, that watch this later and you're not watching this live, remember you guys can always look at the live chat comments because those are saved and those are archived with the video once it's processed. So you guys will not miss out on Jay's commentary because he's saying some pretty cool stuff. But yeah, and we're talking about like rainstorms and windstorms because that is what is happening outside of my window right now. And I had difficulty going live earlier because of that. I'm sorry, I think I just missed a comment. Let me see. I'm so blind. Yep. I don't know what, okay. But yeah, I'm sorry, I think that's in a different language, so I don't know. But yeah, Jay is translating for you guys, for you all that. And I hope that, I got a comment earlier from someone who was saying if I could please make my lives available in different languages. To my knowledge, I thought that I was. If anyone knows like what I'm not pressing, because what I do press is, where if you list the language, I think once you list the language that the title's in and the language that you're speaking in, it should give viewers the option to have that language translated. So I hope I'm pressing stuff right. I don't know. If there's something that I'm doing wrong, could somebody please let me know? You can leave it in the chats or send me an email to my LilahMichelle3@gmail.com. I check my emails all the time. So if someone wants to give me some technical support, I appreciate you to the utmost. Okay, so let me focus. I'm sorry, y'all. I have the ADD, but not really, but maybe. I don't know. I've never been diagnosed, but I don't know. Let's focus here. Okay, I'll turn around because I turn around and I look at MJ. So like I say, I almost did not do this topic. I almost did something which I thought would have been a little bit lighter, a little bit more fun. If I had done the, yeah, maybe it just takes a little time. So maybe whoever, right? I appreciate you. Hey, Morn. I hope I pronounced that right. Morn Lilah. So pretty. Thank you. Love back. Hey, y'all. I love it. Hello. How are you? And like I say, I hope that maybe later, once it takes a little while for it to be processed, then later it is available in other languages. So that is my hope. But yeah, so to get back to MJ, one of the things, hi, back to you guys. I really appreciate all the comments. I think Jay just said something. Yeah, he does. And I almost didn't use this photo because I'm like, man, he looks so sad and he looks so broken. But that is also one of the many parts of different aspects of what his life was filled with at that time. Because actually, for this photo, I looked up 2009 photos of MJ. I started to use like an earlier photo of him and then still put on there like, death conspiracies. But I'm like, no, we don't have to pretend that everything was always like gumdrops and so happy for Michael Jackson, because that just was not the case. He dealt with a lot of scrutiny. How he was always able to smile and, well, you know, or at least try to like wave to his fans and always kind of keep like that upbeat attitude, I have no idea. But a lot of his life, yeah, the media did him so terrible. They did him so badly. But yeah, in this picture, he does look broken. 2009, that's when this photo was taken, and I'm like, man, this is not necessarily the best photo of Michael Jackson, but it is real, it is reality, and that is, you know, he was under a lot of scrutiny. I think the last years of his life probably he already lived somewhat of an isolated existence, I think. I'm sorry, and you guys know I'm blind, so I always have to get like this close. I'm always up on you guys like this because I can't see. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna have my glasses here next time, just so I can see. Yeah, I do too. No, he never did try to project any of what he was going through, if I read that correctly, because I read it kind of fast, but no, he never did try to like project that onto other people. I think he dealt with a lot of stuff privately. I think his life was already extremely isolated in a lot of ways anyway, but especially toward the latter half, they say that a lot of supposed friends that he had even kind of fell off toward the end there, just because he was so scrutinized by the press that, and you know, I think MJ understood it though, because of that, right? Because of that, yeah, he was incredibly strong, and because of that, I think he understood, because friends that he did have, a lot of them had names for themselves. They were, you know, people of Hollywood or whatever, and they had to kind of protect their own image, and associating with Michael Jackson at such a pivotal time, you know, could have rubbed their reputations off in the wrong way as well. So I think MJ understood that, but he was just under a lot. So this is me keeping it real with you guys by having this photo up. This is me keeping it 100. Yep, I had to put that Chi-Town in there. This is me keeping it 100 with you guys, okay? We got the real deal for that time. So to get to actually finally dive into it, two of the very main conspiracies, I guess, that usually surround MJ's death was, you know, was it on purpose? Was he actually, you know, murdered? And I'm using my words like very cautiously, because I know YouTube don't play that, and I don't want to be like censored or my video to be thrown to the bottom of a pile because I'm using certain words. But yeah, one of the theories is that MJ, you know, his death, some loud thunder coming there, but his death was actually not, you know, just, it was actually on purpose. Yeah, it did look awesome. It did look awesome, Jay. I did see the 2007 Vogue photo shoot. It did look awesome. Very cool. That's when he had that like metal thing that kind of looked like a snake. But it looked like, I don't know, like it was made out of like alloy or something, and he had it around his neck. It looked very cool. And I'm glad that he did that photo shoot. I actually have, I think I put some of those photos, if I'm not mistaken, in the community chat before. But you guys will probably have to scroll down a bit to see some. But now you're giving me ideas, Jay. I might actually look for some and put up some newer ones. Yes, yes, yes. I love those photos of MJ. But so the two main theories is that one, either he's, you know, that was on purpose, he was actually murdered. And then the other is that he's actually still alive, which I kind of like. I like that idea. Do I think that that's probably the case? Probably not. I don't think, you know, but it's nice to think that he's still alive, maybe, right? Maybe somewhere on an island with a colorful drink, with an umbrella sticking out of it. I would like that. Aging well, happy. That is a very nice thought. I mean, there's always those random photos that kind of pop up here and there where people are like, could this be MJ? Or there's things that lead others to believe that he's still alive. Maybe so. I don't know. I actually really don't know. Anything is possible. It's possible. It is possible that he's still alive. But let's dive into it. Okay. Let's go around the first theory. The first conspiracy theory around Michael Jackson's death is that he was murdered. They say that Michael Jackson, since he really acquired the Beatles catalog on August 14th of 1985, when he bought the Beatles catalog for an estimated $47.5 million. That's not chump change, but it was actually a good investment, seeing as to how that appreciated to like $1 billion or somewhere over $1 billion. But at the time, in 1985, when he bought the Beatles catalog, it was said that he actually had outbidded, Paul McCartney, and that, that's, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I mean, at least it was said that McCartney said that Michael Jackson said, hey, business is business, it wasn't personal. And I do believe that at a certain level, business does just become business. However, prior to Michael Jackson acquiring the Beatles catalog, he was friends with McCartney. And their first collaboration was like in 1982 on The Girl Is Mine. And then they teamed up again that following year in 1983 and did the Say together. So they were technically, pretty cool. They were friends. And also that was supposed to have been some business advice that McCartney had given Michael Jackson, which was to look at and potentially think about getting into purchasing, publishing rights to catalogs. And I guess obviously Michael Jackson thought it was a great idea, and he did. Now he did give McCartney a heads up and said, I will, I plan to purchase your music. Okay, so I guess all is fair at a certain level. Business becomes business. Now, after Michael Jackson had outbidded McCartney, supposedly their friendship kind of dissipated a bit after that. But think about it. I'm blind. I'm trying to read this, you guys. I'm so sorry. I transformed to a false allegations, etc. Unnecessary things started. Okay. So, all right. So it was after Jay, and you guys are going to get a chance to read these comments later. So for those of you all that watch later and you just see me all up in the screen, it's because I'm trying to read here. But so Jay was saying that the Beatles catalog, ATV/ATV, is when the witch hunt began, and that it transformed into the false allegations, etc., and the unnecessary things started to transpire. Yeah, I mean, also I heard that, what was it? I know that Michael Jackson's daughter had a lot of negative things to say about ATV and just how they do business and just all of that stuff. But throughout the years, Michael Jackson had shared with many people, including Lisa Marie Presley and a lot of others, that he felt like, potentially people could try to kill him for what it is that he owned, kill him for the catalog. And that catalog, that Beatles catalog, supposedly contained like 200 and some odd songs of Beatles music. Very incredibly valuable. At the time, even though $47.5 million sounds like, whoa, I mean, that was actually a pretty good deal, pretty good bargain, seeing as to how it appreciated in value. So that also kind of ties in too. Okay, so, it's just like when someone wins the lottery, right? You got a lottery winner and suddenly, like, from overnight, they go from, whatever, working a 9-to-5 job, maybe they could barely pay their rent, to all of a sudden here they are, multimillionaires, and depending on how much that person won in the lottery, this is my little example, but this is how I'm understanding Michael Jackson's worry and paranoia around that. I'm going to come back to the comments. I'll read it. Don't worry, I'm going to read it. But how I'm comparing that is that, sometimes when you win or you have a certain amount or you have so much, you acquire so much, you do have to kind of be careful with who knows what, because then you're always on edge. Like, there's a lot of people that win the lottery and they don't want their name, they don't want anything in the press, because excitement at first, but then people worry about other things. Like, what if someone tries to, I don't know, get my little ones kidnapped, or, just, I'm trying not to use too many like buzzwords here on YouTube. I'm going to go back to the comments. Don't worry. But I'm just saying, like, when you have a lot of money or you have certain things that are valuable, you really do have to kind of be careful, because I could understand that level of paranoia setting in. I mean, he came into some serious valuable assets there. He's alive, but he's alive in a sense of the spirit. Yeah, I do think so too. I agree with you, Jay. Let me go back to your other comment too. Enjoy. Untimely death is the way. I should wear my glasses. I'm so sorry, you all. I'm sorry. I will. Next live, if I don't have my glasses at least next to me or on, somebody call me out, okay? Relatively healthy 60-year-old man. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, I'm agreeing with Jay. He's making some excellent points in the comments. Completely agree. And I hope I'm not taking too long to kind of hit out some of these points, but yeah, I'm led to believe that he is still alive, but he's alive because we keep his spirit alive and all that. I am more privy to, if I got to pick a conspiracy, go with the one that I'm speaking of right now. But they said that he was always semi, like, not on edge, but he really believed that he could be knocked off for what it is that he acquired and what it is that he owned. And I'll get back to the comments, but right? Okay. Yes. No, thanks, Jay. Appreciate you. But yeah, so that's one theory around there, that, after he acquired the Beatles catalog, that, sometime after that, but he did eventually become very much on edge. He felt like he could be targeted for what it is he acquired, which was later an asset that became worth over $1 billion. So then there's that too. And then, so that's the murdered theory around our Michael Jackson's death conspiracy. And then also, just to kind of step away from that, I do think that just in general, there are certain powers that be, and I'll just put it that way. I'm not going to get into Illuminati. I'm not going to get too deep for this one. I'm not going to get too deep. But I think there are certain powers that be that can or do manipulate the music scene and who has what. And I think Michael Jackson kind of came out of left field when he acquired that very powerful, if you will, asset. And that was just kind of like not in the plan, and he made some real money moves with that. Very prudent with his course, his line of course of business when he did that. So, it's possible. It's quite possible. I feel like I missed a comment. I hate school. I'm gonna watch this live afterwards, and I'm gonna look at myself, and I hope I'm not too I hope I don't feel cringy with going like this, trying to read. I hope not, but I do appreciate the comments. Thank you so much. I'm so glad, because this is what going live is all about. If it wasn't this back and forth, I could just pre-record, you guys. Okay, so trials and tribulations, but he's a great man. Jesus. Yes, I do believe that Michael was an incredible human being, and I think that for some, yes, and I agree with you 100% as well, Jay. I think that even looking at, okay, let's go back to Michael Jackson, how he acquired. Some would say, that was bogus. He shouldn't have did McCartney like that. Da 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 da. But I do think that, at a certain level, I mean, business is business. I mean, it is. Ethically, I don't know. But I do think overall that Michael Jackson was excellent. From all of what I read, I never had the pleasure of meeting him, but I think that Michael Jackson was an incredible human being. And then who knows? High insight, we all do things that sometimes we look back and we're like, man, why did I do that? Or, maybe he would have made a different decision when it came to business. High insight. I don't even know, for my real Michael Jackson, for you guys that know, all of that. I don't even know how old was Michael Jackson back in 1985 when he acquired that. Like, he was still a PYT himself, okay? He was a pretty young thing himself. Maybe high insight, more mature Michael may have went about it in a different way. But even still, I think business was business. And even McCartney, after the fact, still had very good things to say about Michael Jackson overall. Even McCartney said that he believed Michael Jackson was a very amazing human being. 1984. Okay. All right, and you guys do please, later for you guys that are not watching this live, please do read the comments in the chat, because right now, Jay is giving you guys some facts. Okay, so Jay is saying that Michael Jackson was first informed in 1984 by his attorney that the catalog was going through acquisitions, that it could be acquired. Warned of the competition, Jackson remained resolute on his decision to purchase them. Okay, his attorney approached McCartney. Okay. I like this. I love this. Thank you so much, Jay. And then once my channel grows, maybe you could be like my moderator, because Jay knows his stuff. Go on ahead, Jay. Jay is pulling up the facts for you guys. But yeah, you guys, please do read the comments below, because thank you, Jay. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming through. You guys, even from the last, or was it the live before last? I don't know, but I just love how you guys come through. I appreciate you all, even on my community chat sometimes. Like, I don't know, like I always say, I'm a content creator. I am not an expert. I'm not a MJ expert, but I am an MJ fan, which is why this channel has kind of, in its own way, just kind of, I don't know, just become dedicated to Michael Jackson. But I do say in my bio that, he's my favorite entertainer of all time. So, hey, what can I say? But I love that you guys know your stuff, and that if I get a date wrong or whatever, call me out. It's all good. It's not stepping on my toes. I actually have pretty thick skin. Yes. Okay, so Jay was just saying that it was a huge misconception around even the acquisition of the Beatles catalog. So read up on that. I agree. And the press, media, a lot of times does have a way of twisting and turning things. We just hear a certain portion of whatever, and we just kind of come to our own conclusions without really digging in and doing that research. But I love the comments that Jay has left down below. Please check them out. Please read. And that's about Michael Jackson acquiring the Beatles catalog in 1985, but he had first heard about it in 1984 and all of that. So do check that out. And then the other theory is the theory that perhaps, now, even though I'm leaning more toward with Jay that, I don't think And don't beat me up for those of you guys that strongly believe that Michael Jackson is alive. Because I don't know, maybe you guys have seen some evidence or something, came across something where you guys can pretty confidently say that you believe that he's still alive. So I'm not trying to discount anyone's theories around MJ still being alive somewhere. Well, that's gonna, do you guys hear that thunder in my background? Wait, I can't see. Yes. Yes, we are. That's what we're speaking of. The greatest entertainer of all time, just in general. And that's why I always say I hate when people are so quick to compare a lot of contemporary artists to MJ. Like, nah. Like I said on my last live, I would need to see that artist. I would need to see impersonators of that artist all around the world. Okay, I would need to see that kind of barrier broken to say that that person is on the level. And even then, that just speaks of popularity. That's not necessarily speaking of Michael Jackson's talent. So, you know, that's just my little thoughts around that. But yeah, like Jay said, we're speaking of the greatest artist of all time right now. Speaking of MJ. So, like I said, for those of you guys that do believe that, you know, MJ is still alive, who knows? Maybe you came across something, or you played detective yourself a little bit and you have uncovered something that maybe the rest of us don't know. I don't know. But you wouldn't be alone. There are many that believe that MJ is still kicking. That's a comforting thought for me, that, you know, like I say, he's somewhere aging well, hopefully on an island somewhere, you know. Yeah, he is incomparable. Yep. I'm having some trouble reading, but I'm going to come back. Don't worry, Jay. I'm going to come back to your comments. And like I say, for you guys later, please do read his comments as well. But I'm going to come back to it. But I just saw the last half of it. But yeah, so like I say, for me, it's was that my front door? Okay, I don't think so. This is the pleasures of live, you guys. You guys get to catch all of this, like, right? The thunder, me thinking somebody's knocking at my front door, all of that. But anyway, so, okay, at the time of Michael Jackson's death, supposedly it was estimated that he was about $500 million in debt, which for the common Joe or Joanne, thank you. I mean, I'm not worried like that. You know, I'm not that, but I'm still like, who's that at my door? You know, it's a doorman in my building and stuff like that. So I guess I should be all right. I guess, but I don't know. This whole conspiracy stuff has me all on edge. I'm like, oh, it has me on edge. Okay. But, but anyway, so what was I saying? What was I saying a minute ago? Jesus Christ. What was I saying, Lord? Oh, right. But at the time, he was $500 million in debt. Now, for the average Joe or Joanne, such as, you know, myself or others, $500 million sounds tremendous to... Right, that's what I kind of want to play. I always feel like somebody's watching me since I put this on the screen. I don't know. And what is it? And I have no privacy. Okay, I had to sing that. Can't help it. But anyway, for the average person, finding out that someone is $500 million in debt sounds tremendous, over the top. But for Michael Jackson, I mean, $500 million is a lot. And I think probably his 2003 to 2005 court battle probably had a lot to do with that as well, which Bashir, and you guys, for those of you all, like I say, who are not new to this, but true to this, and saw what I did, right, I know, it was funny, Jay, and saw live that I did on Bashir. You guys already know how I feel about the guy. I just, ugh. But post his interview with Bashir that led to that whole court battle thing that just, was spiraled right behind that. But a lot of, even though Michael Jackson was acquitted of all charges, and it was several, even though he was acquitted of all charges, still he spent so much money over the years through court. Yep. Yeah, you're right. If I could say it, but YouTube, they tend to censor. But I thought about that too, a play on words, right? I thought about that too. But that's what his name really should have been instead of Bashir. You guys could use your imaginations or just read Jay's comment. But yeah, Mike spent a lot of money through court costs. And then also he was always steadily hit with a lot of, he was always being sued and things like that. Sometimes Michael would battle it out, but then sometimes he would just settle it out of court, not because he couldn't battle it out, but just because of how much money he'd end up spending, probably just as much as what the person is requesting or around that amount just in court costs just to, prove his case. So Mike was always being hit, being sued and all that. But at the time of his demise, he was $500 million in debt. Now, with the This Is It concert in 2009, it was said that, I don't know, and for those of you guys who really know your stuff, you guys could correct me or just provide details in the chat. But it was said that MJ, the first few shows or something was estimated to gross like $80 million. Something like that. Like if he had actually gone through with This Is It, it was estimated that his first few shows were supposed to generate like a ridiculous amount of money. So we look at that, we put that in compare, we compare being $500 million in debt and being able to come up, some say that, like I say, he's still alive and that the reason why he's still alive is potentially because he was in so much financial debt, possibly facing bankruptcy, and that, right. And even still, think about it, just like Jay is saying, he was really, really wealthy. So think about it, the Beatles catalog, if he even sold just a few of the songs that were within that catalog, that alone would have been enough to pay off that debt. That's at least how I'm thinking of it. Like before someone takes it to the extreme, if that's the reason, before somebody takes it to the extreme and decides like, okay, well, I'll just stage my own death because I'm so in debt. Think about it. Like if he had just sold just a few of those songs or a portion of his catalog, that would have alone have been enough. And he was just, anything Mike touched pretty much would turn to gold. And that was even with all the allegations and all the scrutiny kind of surrounding him. I'm missing some of your, thank you, Jay. Yep, Jay said bingo, right? So he's feeling me. You feel me, right? So that's how I feel on that. But still tying in with the whole bankruptcy theory, some do say that after an artist dies, then their album sales, clearly they increase, right? A lot of money is generated upon their death because then everyone wants to listen to their songs again and buy any kind of memorabilia that they can surrounding that artist. And it was said that after, I'm sorry, you guys know I had to take my notes because like I say, I'm not an expert. I'm just an MJ fan. So I still have to kind of do my little bit of research before I hop on here with you guys. Right, I know, you see me, Jay. Only thing I'm missing is my glasses. I got my pen, my pad, But yeah, so, death of an artist typically do boost album sales. And since Michael Jackson's death, his estate has earned an estimated $2 billion. I didn't say million, I said $2 billion. I'm going to say it with an accent, $2 billion, okay, $2 billion. So that kind of ties in with those that do believe that, it was done to kind of pull himself out of debt and maybe even make a little extra, and then still, that way, not only is he pulled out of debt, but he's no longer worried about facing public scrutiny with the press, being sued, and a lot, I mean, I don't know. I'm someone who a lot of times I do follow a lot of weird conspiracy theories that I think are just weird enough to be true. But in this case, even as much as I would love to believe it, if I had to teeter, I would say I'm more toward the first theory, and that being the theory that, it wasn't accidental, even though Dr. Conrad was given, involuntary manslaughter. I personally have, I think that it's a very strong possibility that he probably should have been convicted of first degree. And then just the details around that and how that was even handled. Like supposedly, and I don't have the full-on details with that. For you guys that do know the details, like I say, please feel free to drop that into the chat. But it was like something weird. Like he wanted to call Prince into the room when he was trying to give Michael Jackson CPR, and just a lot of weird stuff that just should not have been. It was just weird in and of itself. I'm sorry, I'm missing comments. So true. Yeah. And I agree. That's true. That's true too. So true. Even when we look at current, and I'm not even talking about Michael Jackson right now, like when we look at someone's net worth, that a lot of times net worth and what people are worth or what they've gained, a lot of times it's not necessarily in what we say is hard cash. A lot of times it is tied into real estate. It could be contractual. It could be different things as to how people come up with this net worth for people. But even still, Michael Jackson was a tremendous artist, and still anything that he touched, even given how much controversy was around Michael Jackson's name, he still could generate large sums of money, I believe, probably in a very short amount of time, whether he did it in the United States or he had done it abroad. He still, I don't think, would have had trouble pulling himself out of debt. I just don't think so. And I hope I read your comment right. I don't have my glasses, but I will go back after this and I will read the comments as well, because I'm trying not to take too long squinting and get this too close to you guys. Trying to read it. Trying to read your comments, but these are excellent comments and I don't want to miss them. And that's why I am going like this through the whole live trying to read. But to go back to that second theory, that's why I'm leaning more toward that. And I'm still trying not to use too many buzzwords in YouTube, because YouTube is pretty strict with like I don't have any music playing right now because copyright. YouTube will pull up a copyright strike. I'm getting tongue-tied in a minute. So I can't play my music and stuff, and I do have to be careful with using certain buzzwords. But overall, you guys do feel me with what I'm saying, that it was not accidental, right? You guys do feel me. Okay, so to go back to what I was saying at the beginning about listening to the sound of rain, and that it's very calming to me, and I can listen to it to go to sleep and all that. Michael Jackson, as he has said before, Michael Jackson has stated before that he did not like to tour. He did not like touring, not because he didn't like his fans and he didn't like connecting with his fans, but it was just very hard on his body. And then on top of that, sometimes, fans would fall out and all that. It was just, a lot of stuff. Paramedics had to be at a lot of shows and stuff like that. But aside from that, touring in general was just very hard on Michael Jackson's body. And that was something he did, like he said in his interview, which I actually do have on my channel. It's not in a short. It's actually in a video no, maybe I do have it in a short. I think I might have it in a short and in a video compilation or whatever. But he said, he was like, but I don't like it. He's like, I don't like to tour. The record companies, they want you to promote your music. You're supposed to tour, but I don't like to do it. And even though that snippet that I have is cut, the full version, he's explaining why, and he's talking about how, it's very grueling going from country to country, flying, doing this, doing that, the whole spiel, I guess, that goes with touring. But I'm bringing that up to say that Michael Jackson had trouble sleeping. He really did. Right, probably so. Yeah, there's a lot that goes with that. A lot of that mentally and physically, touring can take a toll, right? So Michael Jackson was not a fan of the touring. I'm like, we got to have our background going. I had to click it to bring it back. But so he was using, at least this is my understanding, so don't knock me if I'm wrong, but he had Dr. Murray, Dr. Conrad Murray, is that his name? Conrad, okay. He had, or I want to say Conrad, right? I'm playing on words. But he had him there as his doctor to give him like nightly to administer the milk stuff to help him sleep so that he could just, I guess, sleep faster, sleep heavier, and then be ready to get up and do it all over again. And I don't know if that's something that MJ always did when it was time to tour, if he always had somebody to give him like some type of anesthesia or something to help him sleep. Okay, good. All right. Jay said I'm right. So I'm glad I got that right. But I don't know if that's something that MJ always did. Okay. So Jay said he didn't always do that. Maybe not. And maybe that was because MJ had gone through so much toward the latter half of his life. On top of that, trying to get in the This Is It concert touring. He just alone mentally, he had already gone through a lot. Physically, I think his diet might have been up and down too. He was looking rather thin and gaunt toward the latter half of his life. And then on top of that, here he is rehearsing and dancing, and I'm sure that brings in incredible weight loss with just steadily dancing, moving and stuff. So I guess his resolution, at least for the rest portion, being able to rest, was to be administered anesthesia to help him just to sleep. It's rough. But why did I bring that up? Other than the fact that we're talking about the topic, who performed the autopsy said Michael was relatively healthy for. Really? I didn't know that. Okay. All right. So Jay was saying that the doctor that administered the autopsy said that Michael Jackson was actually relatively healthy for a 50-year-old man. Well, I don't think that he was unhealthy, but some of what I have, read and came across, and I know media is not always accurate because everything becomes like that he say, what do they call it, telephone, and each time it gets passed down, something changes. But I heard not that he wasn't healthy, but that he didn't experience incredible weight loss toward the end. Now, that could be for a lot of different reasons. It could have been because he was doing the This Is It concert and his weight dropped because he's rehearsing and he's practicing. Yeah, you're right. No, it should never be the primary source of your information. However, media is not just, media we take in different ways, right? It's not just what you read is also considered a form of media, right? What you read, what you watch, what you listen to, any source that you take in is considered media. Now, to kind of play devil's advocate a bit, because I didn't, and many of us had not had firsthand contact to know for ourselves what was and what wasn't, we do have to kind of rely on media to a certain degree for our information. But I think it's about diversifying what we take in to kind of come up to our own conclusion on things. That's just kind of how I think. But you are so right. Jay is right. That's why you should never use media as a primary source. But I mean, unless you were there. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm trying to read. I got to read it again, Jay. I'm sorry. Some of looking back at the reality of MJ's life, they were involved. Plus retrospect. Yeah, you're right. I mean, and then I'm just like, I'm taking this back when I say media, and I'm just bringing into my little background because my undergraduate is in marketing communications, and we discuss media a lot. And I always thought of media as just being like what you watch on television, but media is really any source, unless you are the primary, you've experienced something or you witnessed something firsthand. Media can be, what you listen to on the radio. It could be what you're watching on TV. It could be newspapers that you open up, because that is a media source. But I think it's up to us to do like what Jay say. Don't let any, I'm going to say, don't let any one primary source of media be what you base your conclusions on. I think it's good to take in many different forms. Read what you can, even though that's considered media as well. Read what you can, watch different things, and then kind of create your own conclusion. You're right. Because if you just, Jay just made an excellent point. Because if you just rely on one source, right, then it kind of can be like that tabloid junk, right? So I think it's good to kind of diversify the type of media that you take in, right? Don't rely on any one particular source, because I always say, and I mean this sincerely, that what's made public, what's published, be it in written media, even with that, it's just somebody with an opinion who wrote it down or had it written out, and they had the platform to have their opinion published. Really, you know what I mean? Like, hopefully their opinion is somewhat based on some level of fact, but usually journalism is no more than somebody with an opinion with a platform. It does not make the holy grail of because so and so said according to that's just what I've always thought about that. So true. I know, I can't wait for the biopic either. So true. I can't wait either. So who else can't wait for the biopic besides me and Jay? Let's raise our hands. Okay. Yes, I'm sure there were many hands raised right about then. I'm looking forward to it too. And I hopefully, it will be a lot of truth. I guess it really also depends on who all came to collaborate for the making of the bio. Thriller 40 documentary. Okay. Yeah, that would be cool too. I don't know, when will they have that? But yes. I hope I thought I just clicked out of the live. I'm like, oh no, because I'm still new to this, you guys. But yeah, the Thriller 40 documentary anniversary. Waiting for the Thriller 40 documentary. Okay. I'm looking forward to it too, you guys. I'm looking forward. So yeah, as you guys can see, I've kind of digressed a bit. But all of it's connected. Even my little side commentary is connected. Hey there. Hey, Samir. How are you, Samir Ibram? No idea what's screening last November. Okay, so I'm not sure, but some of you guys will be able to see. Oh, okay, you also said other things. You're waiting for the... Okay, that was Samir. Nice. Okay. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. But it was November, huh? Last November. I didn't know that. Okay. I'm like all into this. I know I'm supposed to be. But yeah, I love this because this is what live is about, and I love it. Wonderful, wonderful. I just gave my shouts out to Samir. Hey there. But yeah, so those are just some of the theories around it, which is, I think is just two main theories, and maybe there's others. I also heard, and I think it was through The Detail, which I love Detail. Shout out to that channel, The Detail, for the true Michael Jackson fans. I'm sure a lot of you guys are already subscribed to The Detail, and if you aren't, I'm just, I'm not, I haven't collaborated with them or anything like that. I'm not being paid to boost their channel or anything, but I do think they do an excellent job of kind of like presenting the facts. Hopefully they're using it from many different sources. It's a collection of different references and not just, but I think the Detail does an excellent job with that. But I also heard, I think it was from The Detail, that there are some that believe that Michael Jackson actually died, before 2009, and that the person that we saw up there promoting "This Is It" wasn't even him. I didn't really delve too far into that theory. Oh, you say that they're devalued. How do you think they're devalued? Do you mean like monetized, like devalued, or you just mean like people kind of poo-poo them? Yeah, I think they're good too. I don't know. I know what I think is interesting, and what I like about The Detail is that I like that even though as a Michael Jackson fan, some of it I'm like, no, they didn't with the title, but I like that they're kind of taking this sometimes devil's advocate where they are investigating things that maybe, those of us that are huge fans, such as myself, just would never delve into, because we're like, I don't want to hear anything that opposes my MJ. But, I like that The Detail is not afraid to kind of do that and kind of step off into that murky water a bit and explore. So hats off to them. But yeah, the third theory, which I didn't really, to me, it just seems so, I haven't heard it a lot. Even though to me, the third theory of that, he died way before 2009, and the person who was promoting "This Is It" with the glasses and, did the press conference wasn't really MJ. Even as silly to me as that sounds, if it was enough buzz around it, I would still address it with you guys. But I don't, I hadn't really heard that one too much. And truthfully, I don't really even think that, that's the case. But also, oh wait, you guys, since I'm being so like extra personal with you guys, we're pretty much tying this up. And thank you guys so much for joining me. He said we got lots of hate emojis. Yeah, I'm sure. It was him in the film. Okay, so Samir said it was him in the film, and Jay said that, yeah, a lot of the titles and stuff. And I get it. I think, The Detail has big balls, considering just how numerous, just how strong we are in numbers as MJ fans to even have a lot of those titles. Because I could imagine that a lot of their videos do get a lot of probably hate, because a lot of us, we don't want to hear it. But I like that they're not afraid to kind of step into that territory and at least examine, even if no more than they come to the conclusion the same as an MJ fan would, which is that no, it's a bunch of BS. At least The Detail is not afraid to kind of explore certain topics. So my hat's off to them. But let me show you guys something real quick, okay? So I got this over the weekend. I like animals. I like colorful things. Even though most of my house is like kind of like gray silver, because I just think it kind of goes with a lot of things. But this is what I got you guys, right? So I'm throwing my pad over to the side. I'll be right back. I want to show you guys. Now you guys tell me, even though this is an animal, it's the cutest little animal ever. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And this is just a small little bit. This is just my little nook that actually sits in my bedroom in the corner. But yeah, the rest of my house, I like it because my scheme, it just kind of goes with things. But thank you so much, Jay. I want to show you guys something that I got. Am I too loud? I'm taking this off because I'm about to stand up. And I want to show you guys a little picture that I got. A little like painting. I think this is more like print, but it's made to look like it's like hand painted. But I thought it was really pretty. And you guys tell me who this is. Even though it's an animal, I think it's super cute. Be right back. Tell me who you guys think this is. Check it out. Okay. You guys, check this out. Is this not the cutest thing? I think it's so cute. I haven't put it up because it is so colorful. I do have to kind of find like a spot for it where it is not overdoing like the area. But I think it's so cute. Now, when I looked at this picture, you know who I said it is? And I'm being dramatic, but I was like, oh, that's MJ. And the reason why I say that is because what is he? Oh, I forgot you guys can't hear me. I didn't put this back in. You guys might have been able to hear me a little bit, but when I got this, you guys, I think it's just the cutest thing ever. I think it's so cute. It's colorful, and I think it's just cute, and it looks happy. But when I saw this cute little birdie, I'm like, who is this? And I'm like, that's freaking King of Pop. Like, right? You feel me? Okay, so I'm not like just being a weirdo. I'm like, okay, he's wearing a crown. He looks proud. This could even be kind of like MJ's wardrobe. You know how he always wore like things that look very royal, you know, and you got music notes behind him. He's wearing a crown. He's the crown the king songbird. That's MJ, y'all. It's MJ. So on this note, I had so much fun with you guys. I just wanted to show you all, do like a little show and tell. But I freaking love it. I think it's cute. I think it's just the cutest little thing ever. But I had so much fun, and we just delved into, let me show this again. We just delved into more serious topics, even though I'm ending it with a smile and a laugh. But we, did delve into more heavier topics, conspiracy theories around MJ's death. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. There was a lot of really great comments, a lot of good information shared. Jay, Samir, you guys showed up, showed out, and shared some really great information. So if you guys are not catching this live, please feel free to check out the live chat because it does get archived. A lot of good information shared. So, yes, with stream. So true. Thank you. Thanks for seeing my vision too. Sorry if I missed the, yes, you see the crown. You saw all of that, right? You saw all of that, Jay. I enjoyed this too so much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys. So let me actually exit out of this because I'm going to end this the way I end most of my lives, where I got to do my quick little spiel for you guys to check out my website, LilahMichelle.com, which I am trying to do. If I could actually really do that, you guys. I don't know. Let me see. I'm trying to exit. There we go. So if you guys have not done so already, please do check out my website, LilahMichelle.com. On there, you could always use the menu bar on the side. It has merch, media, and to contact me. But I'm just scrolling through here a little bit. I do have my merchandise that's on here. I'm sorry, I'm missing comments. Yes, so true. Yes, that's right, Jay. All right, see you next live, Jay. See you. Thank you so much. You definitely added to the discussion. Very insightful comments. Thank you so much. Oh, now that would have been a nice little blooper. I almost knocked over this little mirror thing here. But yeah, you guys could go on there. You could click the shop all. And I did actually plan. I feel bad. Dang it. This weekend, I actually was going to add more merchandise to the options for you guys. I was going to have some new stuff, but the day is not over. Maybe I'll still get some new stuff up and going. And if I do, I will share it in the community chat. with you guys, but you could always click here to shop all. With the media, it does have the different icons on there. You guys can check me out on Instagram. I don't have a whole lot on Instagram, and that is because prior to I had one, but it was for a different project. So I just very recently started up my Instagram. So on IG, it is I am Lilah Michelle. There is no underscores. There's nothing, no dashes. It's just all together. I am Lilah Michelle. Check me out on Instagram. And then you guys can also check me out on Twitter. Not on Twitter. Dang it. Well, this is the joy of live. Okay? I did not mean Twitter at all. I actually meant TikTok. I meant to whisper it. TikTok. Since you guys know all the buzz around TikTok right now. But what we're going to do is we're going to stay positive minded, and we're going to visualize the best possible outcome, and that all will be well with content creators within TikTok. Okay. But yeah, so this is my TikTok. If you guys are not following me on there, please do give your girl a follow, support me on other platforms. But yeah, on here I have a lot of different content. I do have some Michael Jackson uploads. I do cover other celebs because I do call myself a celebrity entertainment content creator. And that is not to sound so extra. It's just because literally that's what the freaking content that I upload, which is on celebrities and entertainment. But usually some way or another, those celebrities all kind of loop back to MJ. It always loops back to my heart. So please feel free to check me out on there. And then for the contact, you guys can just fill it out. I'll get dinged right away. It actually goes to my Gmail that I have a new subscriber. And when you guys do that, I make sure that you guys are current with any new content that I have that gets uploaded. And then also you guys can hit that contact me. And when you guys hit to contact me, it also has on there my email address, which is the LilahMichelle3@gmail.com. I check it all the time. So feel free. And then you guys can fill that out, hit submit. And either way, I will get it. So I had so much fun with you guys. I'm sorry that I was late. So for anyone that planned to catch me a freaking hour before, and I wasn't on here, I am so sorry. I was late, but I would not have been as late as I was, but it was because of the keywords. This just freaking I'm passionate. Okay, this just shows you guys just how strict YouTube is, because I use the D word, and I don't mean in a nasty way, I mean the death word in this live. In the title, it would not let me upload it. Once I remove the D word, death, from the title, then it let me upload. I thought it wasn't letting me upload because it was a storm. So I'm like, okay, maybe I just need to wait the storm out, because no matter how many times I tried to upload, not upload, but go live, it would not let me go live. Turns out it was because of that. So yeah. But from now on, I may not, you guys let me know what you think. You guys can kind of vote on it. Should I tell you guys what time I'm going to go live, or just kind of say afternoon or sometime today and just boom, go live? Because I hate putting out a time and then not showing up at that time, which sometimes that's just life. It happens. But you guys tell me if you like it the way that we have it. If you like it that way, I'll keep it that way, and I'll always try to keep you guys informed of the specific times I'll be going live. But if not, it's all good. I had so much fun. I will see you guys later. Bye. See you guys later. Bye-bye.